And now we would like to start a regular press conference by the Foreign Minister Motegi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead and ask questions. For those of your questions, please raise your hands. And once called, please proceed to the microphone and please ask your question after stating your name and affiliation. Thank you. Nagahara-san, Sankei. I am Nagahara, Sankei. Thank you very much. The United States announced NSS the other day. NSS specifies countries such as Japan and ROK and Australia in stressing the need for increase in defense spending. Secretary Hegseth has said that U.S. allies which do not play their respective roles in collective defense will pay a price. How would the Takeuchi government reflect such message from the United States in its revision of the 3 security documents? First of all, the security environment surrounding Japan is perhaps the most challenging and severe and complex in the post-war history, and that recognition I have stressed in the past. And build-up of defense capability should be conducted by Japan's own initiative based on the basic attitude that a nation should defend itself. In doing so, neither monetary amount nor percentage of GDP and other numbers should not be treated as a given. What is important is the substance or the content of defense capabilities we are to build. New way of fighting a war could become a norm, or conventional war fighting, a new war fighting, or existing war fighting, and new war fighting could become hybrid wars. So, in order for Japan to fundamentally strengthen its defense capabilities with a sense of ownership, it is to front-load to this fiscal year measures to achieve 2% defense spending as a percentage of GDP, which is stipulated in its national security strategy. So we have decided to front-load Japan's measures to this fiscal year. In any case, for the new 3 documents, we will discuss their specific contents in consultations with the ruling party. As I said at the outset, given the increasingly severe security environment, Japan will continue to work closely with the United States to further strengthen the deterrence and response capabilities of the Japan-US alliance. And we will continue to closely work with the United States as we have done in the past. And this is our basic thinking, and on the level of leaders and the level of Minister of Foreign Affairs between our Defense Minister and Secretary of War, and on the officials levels, we have shared this shared understanding with the United States. Kyodo, Takaguchi.
I'm Sakaguchi from Kyoto. Over Gaza, the autonomous territories of Palestine, since the ceasefire agreement between Israel and the Islamic organization Hamas 2 months has passed. The second phase aiming for disarming Hamas is expected to face a difficulty. At this point, how Japan is going to be involved in the reconstruction as well as maintenance of a ceasefire in Gaza. The Middle East region, especially Israel and Palestine, these regions, historically speaking, have been faced with wars and also the fighting. So therefore, the ceasefire has been difficult, historically speaking. During the War of the Crusade, the ceasefire stayed for longest period of time. For the Third Crusader period, Israel and Islam and the Christian forces were maintaining the formidable power. So from the viewpoint of Christianity, the Third Crusaders taking the upper hand, the so-called Lion Heart, the British king was taking the lead. On the other hand, on the Arab area, another hint to Saladin, there was a transition of the power. Richard I and Saladin, between them, the 24-year ceasefire was maintained. It is said to be the longest ceasefire in this region. To that extent, the fighting continue in this region. Well, talking about Gaza, on the 17th of January, since the fighting started by Hamas, it has been lengthy fighting, but the comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict was initiated by President Trump, and as a result, the ceasefire was reached among the parties, and this is a bigger progress toward the resolution of the Gaza situation. For the mid and long-term peace and stability of the region, the maintaining the ceasefire is the toppest priority. At the same time, in what way transitioning into the next step, a yellow line or a red line, how they are brought. The steady transition to the next phase is vitally important. Therefore, Japan taking the various opportunity, we will call on all the relevant parties to implement the comprehensive plan in a steady manner. Starting from this month, Mr. Okubo, ambassador in charge of Gaza rebuilding assistance, as well as Mr. Iwamoto, Director General of Middle Eastern and African Affairs Bureau, were dispatched to Israel and Palestine to exchange views with related parties. Going forward, the humanitarian assistance and the early recovery and reconstruction, as well as a provisional governance in this area, we want to make a contribution to the international efforts in relation to Gaza. Through the nation-building support to Palestine, I want to make a proactive role in realizing the two-state solution. Thank you.
IWG Yamamoto. Thank you very much. I'm IWJ Hamamoto, Internet Media. I have a question about the Ukraine situation. The Ukraine conflict has a turning point, and it seems that the Russians are overwhelmingly has a higher hand, and the United States has shifted its position 180 degrees, and Putin has welcomed the recent U.S. proposal. And resource cooperation between the United States and Russia is mentioned, and the United States and Russia is heading towards friendship. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Takaichi continues to have the same recognition as Prime Minister Kishida, and Japan is supporting Ukraine and supporting and acting against Russia. And Ukraine leaderships are subject to corruption investigations, and President Zelensky could be investigated. And 1.4 trillion yen Japanese assistance, the tax hard-earned Japanese tax money may have been involved in this scandal. I would like to understand your assessment of the situation, and I would like to know the report. I would like you to report how the Japanese assistance money has been used. With regards to the situation in Ukraine, at the moment, there are ongoing discussions in the international community. I don't know. There is a room for discussion whether Russia will have an upper hand. In any case, Russian aggression should come to an end, and we need to bring peace to Ukraine as soon as possible. And it is crucial that relevant countries, including Ukraine and countries in Europe, remain united with the U.S. engagement. Having said that, since there are ongoing discussions on peace in Ukraine in the international community, and mediations are underway as well as we speak, so I would refrain from giving comments that could prejudge how things could unfold. With regards to Japan's assistance, Ukraine today could be East Asia tomorrow. Under such a strong sense of crisis, this sense of crisis has been there since Prime Minister Kishida's administration. The sense of crisis has not changed. That doesn't mean that even with the change in the war situation, there's the sense of crisis that Ukraine today could be East Asia tomorrow. This sense of crisis will not change. And based on this strong sense of crisis, we will work closely with the international community, and Japan we have actively supported Ukraine. To be more specific, humanitarian, budgetary, reconstruction, recovery are just some of the areas where we have announced a total of $12 billion of assistance, and we will continue to work firmly in support for Ukraine. In implementing the support, we will consult with the government of Ukraine, international organizations, and we will ensure that our assistance is conducted in the most appropriate manner. Thank you.
Next question, please. Itagaki-san from the Asia News International. I am Itagaki from Asia News International.
There was India-Japan Forum the other day, and you sent a video message, and your video message was highly welcomed in India. Meanwhile, Dr. Jai Shankar, External Affairs Minister of India, delivered a message to respond to your video message, and he expressed hopes that the tourism to Japan should be expanded in Fukushima, although this is a small scale, with a passionate Indian youth has been conducting a highly successful study tours for Indians, and there are a lot of educational or study tours. And two Indian youth have designed these tours, seeing these trends and people-to-people exchanges. I would like to invite your views on promoting people-to-people exchanges between our two nations. Well, youth are from abroad, being active in the Japanese communities, though small in scale, they are trying to expand their initiatives. I give high credit to these initiatives. On the 7th and 8th of December in Delhi, India-Japan Forum was held, and as you pointed out, I sent a video message on the occasion of this forum. And X shows the detail of my message. Together with Dr. Jai Shankar, with whom we have enjoyed a long-standing friendship, the External Affairs Minister, I said that I looked forward to produce tangible results across a wide range of areas based on the Japan-India joint vision for the next decade. As you rightly pointed out, people-to-people exchanges between our two nations serve as the strong foundation of our bilateral ties, and I'm committed to firmly advance our bilateral relationships by promoting people-to-people exchanges, including in the area of tourism. Murakami, Bloomberg.
I am Murakami from Bloomberg. This time, regarding the Japan and China, I would like to ask you a question to approach to the U.S. Regarding the interactions from Ms. Takaichi, toward the Washington administration. The Japanese ambassador in Washington requested President Trump to take a further approach. That was reported by Financial Times. Is this truth? And what kind of interaction was made with the United States? What kind of messaging do you expect from Japan?
Well, for individual press reports, whether the report is accurate or not, I have always refrained from commenting on individual reports regards to their accuracy. With regards to Japan-China relations, we have strategic comprehensive promotion of mutually beneficial relationship based on common strategic interest, and building of constructing a stable relationship are just some of the areas where our leaders have agreed upon, and we are to implement measures to this end. Having said that, there are differences in opinions and there are differences in views between our two nations, Japanese position and Japanese thinking, not just limited to Ambassador Yamada, but in different countries, on different channels and on different levels, Japan's position and thinking have been conveyed. In addition, when Chinese comments run against the facts, we try to take every opportunity to explain the accurate situation, and for diplomacy, those are very important, and we will continue to do that. Next question, please.
Then Nishimura-san, France, Radio France Press. I am Nishimura, France, French press. I'd like to ask you about the question between Japan and the United States, about Japan and China. So in order to improve the Japan-China relationship, what needs to be prioritized? What is your take on that?
What should be prioritized, rather, as I have repeated in the past, Japan, China are neighboring countries. Of course, we also have ROK, which is another neighbor, and with Europe, with China, and with ROK, I mean, we have issues and pending issues with neighboring countries. But there are areas where we can cooperate just because we are neighboring countries through dialogue. We are committed to reduce the number of issues and pending challenges. Meanwhile, we want to increase areas where we can cooperate. These are important initiatives that we need to undertake. Not just focusing on one single matter in different areas through dialogue. We should explore together where we can cooperate, where can we close our differences and distances, and Japan continues to be open to dialogue. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, with this, we would like to conclude today's press conference. Thank you.